You've done the hard work, you've landed the interview, but the real test is just getting started. We are about to break down the top interview questions with a totally no-fluff framework. The goal here is so you can stop guessing what interviewers want and start giving them the exact answers that get you hired.
The decision is often made before you even get to the really deep questions. And look, this isn't to add pressure, it's actually to empower you. It just goes to show how incredibly critical your first impression is. Your opening has to be powerful, and it has to show your value, like, right away.
You've got to understand, every single question an interviewer asks has a question behind the question. They're not just trying to make small talk. No, they are digging for very specific information about your skills, your personality, and honestly, most importantly, how you're going to fit into their team. Our job today is to decode that hidden intent. And that right there brings us to the single most important mindset shift you can possibly make. Every interview is, at its core, a test. Are you company-centric or are you self-centric? Everything you say is going to fall into one of those two buckets, and trust me, they are absolutely keeping score. Okay, so here's the deal. They already assume you're interested in the pay and the benefits. I mean, that's why you applied for the job, right? What they need to hear from you is how you connect with their mission and exactly how you're going to provide value. Answering from that self-centric point of view is pretty much a one-way ticket to getting a no. So let's put this mindset into action with the very first questions you're probably going to face. And remember, these aren't just little icebreakers. This is your moment to pitch the most important product in that room. And that product is you. 9 times out of 10, candidates here tell me about yourself and they just launch into their whole life story. But look, the interviewer is not asking for your biography. They are asking you to connect the dots for them. They're asking, why are you the solution to the problem I'm trying to solve? So here's the framework. It's super simple. First, you state your title and a key result, something with numbers. Like, as a customer success manager, I boosted customer retention by 70%. Easy. Next, you mention a top strength, again with a quick example. And finally, you tie it all directly to this specific role, showing them you've actually done your homework.
And it's the same deal for walk me through your resume. They don't want you to just read it out loud. They've already read it themselves. Your job here is to be a translator. You get to skip the jobs that don't matter and just explain how your key experiences have perfectly prepared you to crush it in this position.
Okay, now we get to the question that's a total test of your motivations and how much homework you've done. They really want to know if you're just looking for any old job or if you're actually passionate about this job at this company.
For this one, just remember the 3 R's. It's a great little trick. First R is research. You cite something specific you found, like on their website. Second R is recognition. You connect their values to your own personal values. And the final R is right fit. You just spell out why that connection makes you the absolute perfect candidate for them. All right, let's dive into those questions that everybody dreads. These are specifically designed to test your self-awareness and how professional you are under a little bit of pressure. But if you handle them right, they can actually make you seem like a way stronger candidate. Come on, we all know the old strength disguised as a weakness trick. I'm a perfectionist. I just work too hard. It's tired and it sounds fake. Instead, you need to pick a real but minor weakness, something that isn't like a deal breaker for the job. And then, and this is the most important part, you explain the actual concrete steps you are taking to get better at it. That shows resilience and real self-awareness. You have to think of this question as a giant red flag detector. Whatever you do, never, ever, ever complain about a past employer. It just makes them think you'll do the same thing to them one day. The way you frame it has to be positive. You're not running away from a bad job, you are running towards the incredible opportunity that this new role offers. See the difference? Okay, moving on. These next questions are all about your long-term value. Are you just using this job as a stepping stone, or are you someone they can invest in, who will grow with a company? Let's break down exactly how to prove you're the second one. So there's this really cool concept called a unique pairing. And honestly, this is your secret weapon. Instead of just listing off generic strengths that everybody has, you find a combination of 2 skills that you have that don't usually go together. This is what's going to separate you from the other 5 people they interviewed today. And this chart, it lays it out perfectly. I mean, are you a super creative person who's also incredibly organized? That's really rare. Or maybe a financial analyst who has amazing people skills? That's a future leader right there. Take a second and think about what your own unique pairing is and have that answer ready to go. So when they ask about your career aspirations, what they're really asking is, so how long are you actually going to be here? Don't try to dodge it. Just be honest. If you see yourself there for, say, 4 years building out a new department, say that. And then you add this little bit of reassurance that if your path ever did change, you'd be committed to helping find your replacement and making sure it's a totally smooth transition. That just screams maturity and accountability. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the interview. But listen, this is not the time to relax. This is where you either seal the deal or totally drop the ball. Asking the right questions and handling that salary talk is absolutely 100% critical. Whatever you do, never say, nope, no questions from me. It just makes you look unprepared. Here are 3 powerful ones you can use. Asking about a specific line in the job description proves you actually read it. Asking how you could exceed their expectations shows you're an overachiever. And asking about the 30, 60, 90-day plan, that shows you're already picturing yourself in the job, ready to go. And now for a quick bonus topic, the money question. Here is a really important fact that a lot of people don't know. In many places, it's actually illegal for an employer to ask what you currently make. So what they do is they get around it by asking for your goal salary. You have to have an answer prepared for this. The absolute key here is to take all the emotion out of it and just lean on the data. Your process is really simple. First, you use sites like PayScale or Salary.com to find the market value for that role in your area. Second, you do a little digging to see what similar companies are paying. Once you have that data, you can present a confident, totally reasonable range. And here's pretty much a word-for-word script you can use. You state your range, you justify it with the research you did, and you say you'd prefer the higher end. This makes you look like a logical, professional person who knows their worth. And honestly, it'll almost always get you a better offer than just, pulling a number out of thin air. So when you boil it all down, it really comes back to that one core idea we started with. Every single question is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to prove that you're the one candidate who is thinking about the company's problems, not just your own. Your whole interview strategy should be built on that one really powerful shift in your mindset.